Hello, hello, hello. First slide, please. So, 5G, our brand new internet system, which will be coming next year, hopefully. But I decided to relate it biblically, so Revelation 13:17, and it provides that no one will be able to buy or sell except the one who has the mark, either the name of the beast or the number of his name. And you're thinking, what's 5G got to do with this? Well, I'll be telling you later. Next slide. So, over the many years, there's lots of entertainment, but these three stood out the most for me. So, on the left, top left, we have the new Fast and Furious, and I'll tell you a very good reason why I chose this. On the right, we have Doctor Who, one of the shows we've had years ago, one of our best ones, and we have Vodafone. So we'll start with the top left. You're looking at the guy who's in the background, and when I watched the movie, it struck me that inside of him, he's not in control of himself. He's got a computer which is telling him what's around him. And it's like, okay, so in a way, 5G can do that sometimes. You know, we go on our phones, we have fast internet connection, but it's a brand new world in there, and anything could happen. And he goes back to his little home, and he's not talking to a human, because his voice is so demonic. It stood out to me like, okay, I see what this film's all about. Even though it's all about cars and guns and things like that, there's another story in there which is sort of warning us of what computer technology can do in artificial intelligence. Now, there's many articles on the internet which are coming out, such as computers are now making human brains to think faster. That's actually a very serious thing, because one day, most of the general public might want a chip inside the back of their brain just to help them out in life. I'm pretty sure Christ doesn't want that, because we already have a brain which can think faster than a computer anyway. But that's one of the warnings that I saw. In Doctor Who, the main story is pretty simple. As you can see in the logo, that's an actual robot which is giving out a hotspot connection to people who just want Wi-Fi. And it's the same for Verizon today. You know, we've got social media. We live on our phones. And this is also given us a second reality of once we hit our phones, we leave reality and we go into this artificial reality where we get sucked into it. We don't know what's going on anymore. And that's what's happened to the youth. They almost feel lost without artificial intelligence. And it's actually quite scary, because 5G is going to boost that massively. And it's something that we need to be aware of, because it's actually a weapon. And it's been used in the army before, in Afghanistan. The army beamed 5G at the enemy, and they were just relaxed. And that's quite scary when it comes to think about it. With Vodafone, you can already see what's going on here. We have our smart home, we then have our SIM, and then we have Alexa, our talking speaker. Now, it's funny that over the years we've had speakers, you know, we just listen to music from them, but now they can talk to us through the internet. Why do we need a speaker that can help us switch lights off for us, change the colour of the room? We can do that ourselves, can't we? But that's not what technology wants us to do now. They want it to do it for us. So we speak to this unknown person in a server base which is controlling our home, basically. That should scream us volumes like technology is actually getting quite dangerous if we use it in the wrong way. And if you look at more Vodafone adverts, you'll see here, they're not speech bubbles. They may have been years ago, but they're definitely not speech bubbles. They're 66666. They're advertising us that the devil is actually going to use technology against us. It's everywhere. We can't avoid it. It's how we look. And Vodafone has just, in St Austell, we've just had a new phone shop, our like 7th one now. Don't know why, but we do. And they just keep on coming up with these great values. Join Vodafone, cheap phones, cheap SIM cards, whatever. But it's the way they're advertising it is what's quite scary. Right, next slide. Right, so looking at the internet, trying to research 5G, I want to look at some more scientific side of it. So on the left, it's actually quite an interesting video about smart meters. And there's quite a lot of things that we don't really know about and what they can do to us. And then, of course, we have a history of 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. And when you look at the gigahertz, it's not much different until it hits 5G. 95 gigahertz. That's almost physical. 4G doesn't really do much to us. But what you get with 5G is nothing much but 3D video and HD quality. Thanks, that's not much, is it, to be fair? I mean, you can probably do it with 4G anyway. So it's almost an excuse to get 5G when we don't really need it. And it shows on the wave millimeter as well. 4G, tiny bit there, it doesn't even affect us. And then this huge jump, 24 to 100. God knows what that could do to us. That's actually quite scary. And it shows here. A scientist did a test on 3 different subjects. First one we have, they're all about 1 foot away from a smart meter over time. We have 2 minutes, 6 minutes, and 45 seconds. And what's scary is that the blood cells are actually changing shape. The middle one, they're all bottle caps. 5G has a frequency power that can change your physical body in a way, which is quite scary. So when it comes to more protests, things like that, and the government wants to calm everything down, we'll put 5G on them and they'll just calm down. And then the news will go, oh, this and this happened. No, what actually happened is 5G was used, because don't forget, 5G doesn't have much of a radius, which is why all of us are told to have smart meters. Otherwise, why would we have smart meters? You know, and we have electric box meters to look at our electric meter, you know, to see how much electrics we use every month, which is fine. But smart meter, the word smart is what you want to be careful of here, because that means it's connected to something that we don't know of. So smart TV, smartphones, yes, you know, we all use smartphones, but phones are getting better now for that 5G technology. Now smart meter is a different story, because that means we can control it, but someone else on the other end can control it as well. They can watch what we're doing, they can tell if we're inside the house or not by how much electric we use. Tell me that's not good. That's quite scary, isn't it? To be perfectly honest with you. I mean, I don't think I want a smart meter. But what I found out is because 5G doesn't radiate much, all this business of we want to turn green. Why are you chopping trees down to get more 5G in? And now you're moaning about global warming. Please tell me something's not right there. It's not right, is it? So the fact that you want 5G, but because a creator of God created a leaf, blocks 5G, means that God can never be destroyed. Nature will always take over 5G. No matter how much we want to have all this technology, it will get defeated by something eventually. But now we want all the technology in the world. We have to keep add. Every street will have a smart meter. I can't tell you how much. The trouble that's going to cause will be horrendous. We're going to see a lot more mental health problems, because that's what 5G is very capable of doing. We're going to see a lot of illnesses. And the fact the frequency can go that high, it can affect physical stuff. Then all the biblical aspects of 1/3 of the population would die of each. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if 5G would be the one to do that, because let's face it, this shows what it can do in terms of frequency. Thank you very much.